Let's Run, Penny Lane, or Beatles songs. How the Beatles wrote the perfect chord progression. Paul Davis. Let's go to the video.
You see, this is what I got on my first piano lesson at the Conservatory while studying guitar, and it did two things for me. It made me realize I suck at piano. Come on, B major. What kind of key is that? 5 sharps. Who even does that? But maybe more so, it made me realize how interesting and lovely the compositions of the Beatles songs actually are. So we all know these songs. They are in our collective memory, ingrained in our collective memory. We take them for granted, but then when looking closer at the pieces, the arrangements, the compositions, it makes us realize there's so much more going on in the songs. So today, I'd love for us to take a look at the tune Penny Lane, written by Paul McCartney. So, as we said, the song is in the key of B major. And let's see how just playing the chords, how far that can take us.
Penny Lane, there is a mama showing photographs. Very handy.
Okay, well, at least one whole bar, but then we definitely need something different, right? So in part 2 we find 2-5-1, often called a turnaround as well, because it brings us back to the beginning chord, which results to C sharp minor, to F sharp major, and back to B. And indeed, it has a familiar ring to it, right?
Penny Lane, there is a mama showing photographs. Very handy.
Sounds great, right? But we need to get a step further to get closer to what ended up on the record, because in the basis of the very song lies not the 2-5-1, but another very commonly seen jazz progression: 1, 6, 2, 5, and back to 1. No, it doesn't mean anything to you? Well, we all know the progression. It's, for example, this. Always look on the bright side of life. Anyway, as we'll hear, it sounds great with the song Penny Lane.
Penny Lane, there is a mama showing photographs. Very handy.
Sounds lovely. So now we can turn all the chords, apart from the first chord, into 7th chords, because apparently that's what they do in jazz, and it sounds fancy, and I'm a fancy man, Paul McCartney is a fancy man, so let's see how that sounds.
Penny Lane, there is a mama showing photographs. Very handy.
Sweet, but hey, aren't we talking about Paul McCartney? He's the bass dude, right? The bass player. And so far there isn't anything going on in that lower region. So let's enter a walking bass. The most obvious thing is to see if we can walk from chord to chord. And yeah, we can follow the B major scale down, and we see that we can... Lovely, but now Paul does something great, because he extends that descending B major scale down all the way to E, where we actually should hear the C sharp minor chord. And why not? Because the E note is found in the C sharp minor chord already. It's the minor third, so it sounds great. So he keeps on walking to E, and then he plays the root note of the C sharp minor chord after it, getting this. And of course, if you want to get back to the B major eventually, we need to play the 5 chord. It just works so well. So after the C sharp minor, 2, we play the 5, the F sharp 7th. And there we are.
Penny Lane, there is a mama showing photographs. Very handy.
Alright, so this is the first round, and if you think that so far it isn't that special or unique, just wait 1 second, because there is something coming where Paul introduces us to his sheer brilliance. So where everyone would expect the same thing happening over again, he suddenly creeps up on us with maybe the most unexpected chord out there. Let's have a listen.
Penny Lane, there is a mama showing photographs. Very handy and a pleasure to know.
It's a B minor chord in the key of B major, and it really comes out of nowhere, doesn't it? So this is something we call a borrowed chord. We land the chord from the relative key. The relative key is B minor, so we call this modal mixture, modal interchange, and it doesn't happen that often on the tonic, on the 1 chord. So if this chord doesn't sound that strange or spicy to you, that is simply because you just heard it so often, you take it for granted, but it is a very odd chord choice.
This is a B major da 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 da. And B major minor. This da 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 da. This is little but really huge difference. Da 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 da. And really changes impression of the song and really something twist. Da da da. Really iconic choice.
Out there. Just listen to the original mix, not the 2015 remaster. The original sounds better. Anyway, when that B minor chord comes along, the entire orchestration changes. It's highly emphasized. So the snare drum goes away, there's a new instrument that plucks the chord along with the piano. So they really want you to hear that B minor chord. They put it out there. So it's the 1 to the 6 and then to 1 minor 7. And Paul sings that minor 7 note, by the way, which is very cool. So now let's see how he continues in that B minor world all of a sudden. We know he goes back to B major eventually, but how? Well, probably via F sharp 7, but let's see what happens.
Penny Lane, there is a bar showing photographs. Very head, he's had a pleasure to know. And all the people that come and go stop and say hello. On the corner is a bank.
Alright, there is some spicy stuff going on. So after that B minor chord, he goes to a G sharp in the bass. He keeps that B minor on top, and then he puts the G sharp in the bass note, creating a G sharp minor 7 flat 5 or half diminished, or just B minor over G sharp, whatever you wish. But it is really unexpected, to be honest. I would expect the bass in that B minor realm going down via the B minor scale, creating sort of an Andalusian cadence. B minor over A over G and then F sharp.
Very head, he's had a pleasure to know. And all the people that come and go stop and say hello.
So that works. But no, Paul chooses to play a G sharp.
Very head, he's had a pleasure to know. And all the people that come and go stop and say hello.
And that sounds really awesome. There's just a little bit more weight to that G sharp, right? It is sort of again a modal mixture, but now the other way around, because now we're in the B minor realm. We play a G sharp coming from the G major or G minor Dorian. Anyway, it sounds great. So after that G sharp, we go down 1 semitone in the bass to a G major 7th or a B minor over G. And then again, we go down 1 more semitone to F sharp, creating that F sharp 7/4 to F sharp 7, going down. Back to B major, the first chord of the verse again. So when we hit that B major chord again, we just do the same thing.
On the corner is a bank with a motor car. The little children laughing at him behind his back. And the banker never wears a mask in the pouring rain.
But this wouldn't be a Beatles song if there wasn't some sort of modulation, craziness going on in there. And yes, we do change keys. So in the chorus, we go from B major, that we just played in the verses, to A major. So where does that come from? Well, apparently from Paul's brain. But how do we get there? How do we get to that A major chord? So we need a chord that pushes us in the right direction, and we call that a...
Now it's moving from verse to first chorus. And the bridge is really something special.
pivot chord. A chord can be found in both keys, so a chord found in B major and a chord found in A major. That works well all the time. So we know that the 5 chord really begs us to go someplace. So what is the 5 chord of A, the new key? That would be E major. And E is also in the key of B major. It is the 4 chord. So now we get something very cool. After that, F sharp 7 sus 4, we play. So we use the E as a pivot chord, going from the key of B major to A major, and it is very strange. That is how you modulate to A major. So now there's just 3 basic chords, nothing too fancy going on. So listen. So nothing too fancy going on here, apart from it being super catchy and memorable. A major, A over C sharp, and a D major chord. But there is a problem. So how do we get back to the verses being in B major again? I guess we need another pivot chord, right? Or we could use something called a secondary dominant for this too, I guess. Because that second time around, we cut the D major in half where I just stopped playing. And we follow that with, again, 3 cheesy, not cheesy, it's just F sharp 7s again. Bringing us back to B major. Alright, so how does that sound in the context?
Penny Lane is in my ears and in my eyes. Beneath the blue suburban skies, I see them gleam while Penny Lane there is a fire with an hourglass.
And that is how it's done. It sounds awesome, right? But we're not there yet, because at the end of every song, remember, there's always 2 choruses, right? Everyone wants to sing along and be happy, and they do something so clever, which adds even another modulation to, or are we going, anyway, there's something cool going on. So in the chorus, we always throw you back to the key of the verse, right? So in the chorus, we are in A major, and that's D major. Brings us back to the key of the verse of B. But in the second to last chorus, the same thing happens again. But no, we don't go to a verse, but we go to the chorus played in the key of the verse. So instead of A major, we play the chorus in B major, and it just sounds so awesome. So super bright, right? Really milking that whole modulation game. Such a lovely display of what we can do with a secondary dominant, pivot chords, modal mixture, modulating. It's just really interesting to see how Paul McCartney writes these songs. Anyway, I made a whole video about the secondary dominant too, by the way. If you want to learn even more about it, you can check it out over.
Very nice. That A key, from A key, moving B key, and changing or transpose the key with the secondary dominant F sharp key, like 5-1. And F sharp. Maybe this is the difference. Oh, it's the same. It's the same one. So from A on A key, F sharp is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a 5. So it's a A key dominant and also B key fourth. One, two, three, four. 5. I made a mistake. So on A key it's a 6 and B key 5. So from A key moving 6, but from B key F sharp is 5th, so 5, 1. So 1 moving like 1, 6, but it's also in different view 5, 1. So it's really nice connection
here. And if you're just as much into playing acoustic guitar as I am, I would love for you to check out my guitar course, Acoustic Adventure. This is made for everyone that wants to play on.
Really nice. Well, let's play Penny Lane. and verse and chorus. And last chorus. Where was that? Really nice song. And I ran out. How was that key? C sharp. Da 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 da. Really nice song. And running a lot from the song.